Here's Brian and Lance.
Oh, damn.
We're live from 304 Studios in Jonesboro, Arkansas. This is an STSpod.club production. There's no truth to the rumor. By the way, I'm BT, but no truth to the rumors that he pooped on someone's head. Oh, I can't believe I just said that. He made me say that, y'all.
Yep,
he is from Chicago, the home of Babyface Nelson. Did you know that? Home of Babyface. The Snark of Excellence, my partner in crime, your friend and mine, sometimes, especially when he's not talking over me. His name is Lance Levine, and we are the two tastiest, what is it? Two taste snacks in podcasting. Lance, how the hell are you?
From right here at Snacks Fifth Avenue. No, I'm at the Kellogg's Eggo Maple Waffle Flavored Milk Studios in Chicago, not Snacks Fifth Avenue.
That's milk? I thought it was creamer.
No, it was milk. It's actually milk. Yeah, I haven't chugged it yet, but I'm drinking. There was two of them, so I had to grab them both. I didn't want anybody else having the joy that I found with Eggo Maple Waffle Flavored milk. So,
God, it sounds good. It sounds like my sugar just went up just by looking at it. I got a high sugar.
You should be watching Bugs Bunny cartoons Saturday morning in your jammies. That's
man, what I love
maple waffle flavored milk sounds like.
Oh, sounds so good. All right, guys, this is episode 797. Can you freaking believe that? 797. This weekend is a 3-day weekend. Today, on 2 o'clock on Friday, we're sitting here. It's 797. Saturday, we have Rolling into Memphis. And Sunday, we have our first annual, and you may be listening to, the halftime part. On Sunday, it's called Halftime. First annual halftime show. When the halftime show starts on the big game, we got to say
the big game.
Instead of Super Bowl. We can't say Super Bowl.
No.
The big game, then I will release the halftime show. Just let everyone know, be on the lookout in your inbox. Mm-hmm. We will be inviting you next week's for episode 800, and you will have a link to come in here with me and Lance and celebrate.
Oh, my
episode 800. And Sunday, also, Lance, Sunday is Shiznit Day. So happy Shiznit Day. Sunday's our 7th anniversary. We even have a new shirt available for that special occasion. Can you believe it? 7 years, man.
Aren't you supposed to say happy Shiznit Day to those who celebrate? I think that's how you're...
Go ahead, say it.
Yeah, you're supposed to appropriately say it that way for Snowflake Nation. So happy Shiznit Day to you, Brian, and to all of our listeners, our loyal listeners that we appreciate so much. If you choose to celebrate,
that's right. If you choose to celebrate Shiznit Day.
We have some people that are very anti,
Before we go any further, Lance, did you ever think that we would go a full 7 years like we've done?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Right on.
Yeah.
It'll be another 7 years, y'all.
Yeah.
Well, if I'm still alive. So, all right. So the top 3 episodes from last month which is January 2024. Episode 790 was the top 10 stories of 2023. Nice. Number 2 was WTF of December 788. And number 1, Lance is really happy for this because he put a lot of work into it. It was The Record Store. It's his top 10 favorite albums of 2023. Excellent episode, Lance. You got tons of downloads.
Thank you.
And it was something that you put a lot of work in. It's always fun when we do that. We put a lot of work.
It was a very last-minute decision. I decided to do it in early December. And then I started having to go back and listen to all the albums and make notes and stuff. So this year I will know better because I'm going to plan more ahead.
Yeah, we'll have our second annual next
it'll
December.
Be the second annual. That's right. It'll be the best albums of 2024. That's how that works.
There you go. Yeah. Real quick. Now, January of last year, we had not started that big curve of crazy. I just started TikTok. in January, which we've been doing the Shiznit Minute for over a year. But we had a 600% increase from last year. I expect everything to line out, and I actually texted you with the numbers and said, this is what I want. We had that 2.6 million last year, and I don't know if we'll ever hit that again. But thanks to everyone for a great January. Thanks for listening to everything. Everything gets a lot of plays, and I always put the top 3 there. Those shows actually performed. We used to do this thing where I said over the rolling into Memphis plays, we didn't include them. Well, if we included them, they'd be 4, 5, and 6 because those 3 episodes were fantastic. All right, Lance, tell us what the hell are we doing, brother? What are we doing?
It's the WTF news desk, of course.
Oh, yeah, it is.
We are covering all the wild and wacky and weird, bizarre stories from the month of January in the worlds of wrestling and MMA. We always include MMA because they give us plenty of material to cover there, too. And, we can't just do, as we've said before, if you're a first-time listener, we can't just do news stories because everybody does that. If Meltzer does it better than anybody else, but we have to take a different approach. We have to have the weird and the wacky and the wild and the wonderful, which wrestling never fails to give us enough material to do every single month for many years now. So this is where we're at. So we should start at number 10, where we always start, which is our stipulation match. And it goes to DDT this time.
Oh, man, first time. I know. We should just make them the fuckinator every year, so.
They do get mentioned almost monthly. So it's DDT New Year's current blast card. It was in Kanagawa Surumi Fruit and Vegetable Market with 220 fans. I love it when they do the shows at the fruit and vegetable market because I figure there's a watermelon. Gallagher's going to run around and shit. So there's going to be all kinds of fun.
It might be his brother.
Well, there were 2 of them. Yeah, there were 2
that's right.
One of them
Gallagher, too, runs around.
Yeah. So anyway, the match is a Wind and Clouds Takagi Castle match. And in this match, Kaz Harada and our guy Don Shako Dino, who we talk about frequently, they beat the 3-man team of Sanshiro Takagi, Masahiro Takanishi, and Hiroshima, because it's all in caps, so you got to say it that way.
That's right.
So the object of the match was the 3-man team had to build a castle out of chairs in under 10 minutes, and the 2-man team, Kaz and Dino, had to prevent them from doing it, and they did. So it was a handicap match. They still won it. It was, even though a handicap match, the 2 guys prevented them from building a castle of chairs. It sounds like something from like your backyard when you were a kid. You had to build a fort out of chairs or something. So and then
no, that's your backyard. I wasn't a nerd. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So speaking of backyards, we'll get to that in our top story. Also, some sad news in our stipulation matches on January. Thank you, Buff. On January 3rd, it was again DDT's Grand Prix final. It was at Korakuen Hall. Kuroshio, Tokyo, Japan, who I don't know if you know who that is. That's the former jacket idiot from NXT, the goof that would wear the jacket, the Japanese guy in NXT. So now he is known as Kuroshio, Tokyo, Japan, because it's all caps. He beat the Christmas tree for the
Iron Man. I hate that.
Iron Man heavy metal title lost. And so the era is over. It was a fun era while it lasted. I have very fond memories of the Christmas tree as champion in DDT.
All right. As always, DDT is fantastic for matches that we cannot believe really did happen, but they did. I am going to contact Tony Myers, who actually just got back from Japan, and we're going to have him on a WTF sometime and let him talk about some of the weirdest matches he's been involved in. Right there at number 10, and I've seen him in all kinds of places. I've seen them wrestle on. You remember those mats you used to get when you were we had naps when we were in kindergarten. Did you have a nap and you had a mat a nap? Yeah. A mat nap? No, a nap mat. Yeah.
Like in kindergarten.
Yeah. They looked like they were wrestling on those.
Yeah.
Man, that was easy for me to say. Nap mat. Yeah, that's
I was
right.
confused. So
yeah,
are we gonna do a 10-bell salute for the Christmas tree or just
no, it's too much. Yeah. We got too much stuff to talk about.
Too much. Just an action-packed month. So all right, at number 9, Joey Janela, also in a handicap match. So The promotion was Demand Lucha. It was January 18th. It was in Toronto. That's Canada, for those of you who are geographically impaired. Anyway, January 25th, handicapped comedian Ricky Berwick tweets, "Cripple kills wrestler." Now that's his word, not mine. Don't come at us. You know, he said, he's a handicapped comedian. He said cripple kills wrestler. So he did a bit with Joey Janela at this indie show. So Berwick, who again, very blue stand-up comedian, or well, sit-down comedian, I guess. No offense. But he does comedy, let's put it that way. So they're at an indie show. He's in a motorized wheelchair and he smarts off to Janela. Joey slaps him like pretty good, gives him a good slap in the face. Crowd explodes. He's at ringside. Crowd explodes, just yelling at, and they just hate Joey Janela for this. So Janela pulls out a table like he's going to do something to the handicapped guy in the wheelchair. So Berwick drives towards him in the motorized wheelchair, literally drives him through the table. So, and then Berwick gets all blue, you know, he's MFing him. The crowd is chanting, "You sick fuck" to Joey Janela. It's just really bizarre. So anyway, and then Berwick's handler says, "What the fuck? He's a cripple." So Berwick obviously clearly is in on this. He's got like 500,000 followers on Twitter. He sells merchandise that says "Retard Station" on it, on t-shirts. So it's kind of like watching, if you see this guy, it's kind of like watching Stephen Hawking doing comedy. It's very strange, very weird, but it's very uncomfortable. But hey, good on him. You know, he ends up putting Janela through the table. Good on Janela for playing along with it. So I thought in a weird way it was kind of a feel-good story at number 9.
A feel-good story.
One of your feel-goods. You trademarked that.
All right, guys. Yeah, I want to tell you a story. I love this. I'm not going to play the video because go out of your way. It's on everything, okay? It's on the X. It's on
Ricky
YouTube.
Berwick,
it's everywhere.
Berwick.
I was working with a guy named Chris, and he was, and no shit, was about this big, like,
oh, okay,
9 inches, and he was in a wheelchair. And we had Halloween, and he dressed up like a Smurf. And me and him had a great relationship, and I threw a big fit when he won. And everyone thought I was the biggest asshole ever, but Chris knew that I was going to do it. I was like, "This son of a bitch, he dresses like a Smurf. Y'all shouldn't give him shit. That's $100. And he's like, "Man, they're really thinking you're mad at me." And then he's talking to me dressed like a Smurf. I'm still mad at him about that. But yeah, this is fun stuff, guys. Fun stuff.
Ahead of your time. Look at you, ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah, I made fun of cripples a long time ago. So
all right, at number 8, I'm going to save you. At number 8, hallucinations in the news. So first off, we're going to start with Liv Morgan. She hired the best lawyer in Florida to fight her weed arrest in December.
Man, that's pretty scary. Best lawyer in Florida.
I know that covers a lot of ground. So he immediately gets the, quote, synthetic marijuana charges off, which was a felony. He gets that dropped. What is synthetic marijuana? Is that like that's like the vape? That's like when they vape shit? I'm not as familiar with it as a lot of people are, but I really think it's the best way to put it is somebody has made weed that they try to make it have the same symptoms as you would if you smoked the real stuff. And at one time there's very little regulations on it, kind of like supplements that you buy. But that's what the scary part. I never even touched the stuff because there's no regulation. There's no, the cool thing. And I know buying weed off somebody on the street, there's no regulations either. But now, if you're in a state where it's legal, then there's all kinds of paperwork you got to make sure you get. I do gummies, and they have to have the certain amount, blah blah blah. And so that's the cool thing now. But yeah, synthetic marijuana, I don't know why she would even get that. That's one of the weirdest things to me, is as legal as it is now. Right.
But about 5 years ago, there was a couple of things, that and something else that was, I know somebody's going to message me and tell me, but it was KRATCH, I think it was.
Mhm.
It was a big deal, and everybody was smoking it. But I just don't trust shit like that.
Yeah.
So, and I hate smoke, so I don't
So
like to smoke at all.
she's likely to skate. We'll update the story in February on the February show. She's already appeared on Royal Rumble. She's been on TV. They pretty much kept her character the same. You know, they could have gone with the female Riddle. I thought for sure they were going to go with the female.
I wish she
Riddle.
would have came out to bro. That's what she should have came out to.
Wearing a bro, like from Seinfeld. So also in other hallucination news, Mil Mascaras, our friend Mil Mascaras, does an interview with El Universal, which I believe translates to the Universal. So he claims he was selected to go to the 1964 Olympics in Tokyo in not only freestyle, but Greco-Roman wrestling. And he says, of course, he would have won the gold had he gone. But Mexico lied to him. Apparently, the entire country lied to him. And they had no money to send him to the Olympics. So he says he's beaten the Japanese gold medalist many times. Meltzer reports this is all fictitious. None of this is true whatsoever. He was already a pro wrestler in 1964. Mexico did send wrestlers to the Olympics in 1964. And Mil was never even a collegiate wrestler. He did judo, but never a collegiate wrestler.
And he was Mr. Mexico in bodybuilding.
Somebody obviously spiked his oatmeal with synthetic marijuana. I think that's what happened there. So I don't know. Mil Mascaras hallucinating at number 8 also.
There is a legend, an urban legend about Mil Mascaras and the Mid-South Coliseum. I don't know the full details, but he was there, but I've been told it wasn't him.
How would you know?
I don't know, but that's what I've been told before, that it wasn't him. And our buddy Gene Jackson, who does a podcast with us, he has seen Mil Mascaras without his mask.
Damn.
Yes, he was at a con, and he was in an elevator. And it was an older guy in the elevator with him, and he thought the guy was dressed so nicely, and he just looked at him, said hi to him, and then when he went out into the convention, Mil was there with the mask, and same suit, outfit. And the ring too. There was a ring on his hand, and I was like, "Oh my God, you should have got your picture taken with Mil Mascaras." But yeah, there's all kinds of stuff in it. You know, I know people are going to say, "Oh, BT, what the hell?" I was never impressed with him. I never was. And you know who made him in the United States was Bill Apter. The Apter mags made Mil Mascaras. I love the mask. I love mask wrestlers, but especially when we got to the point and we got to see the AAA in the Lucha, those guys just blew everybody away. Mil Mascaras, and it's the same thing. You know, you look at older wrestlers, but yeah, just a legend. But he was nowhere near to the Olympics.
Yeah. So, all right, number 7, we have a mat battle. We have Riddle versus Stryker in a sense. So we got Matt Riddle, a WTF favorite. Not really, but okay. He debuts for MLW on January 6th. It's the Kings of Coliseum show in Philadelphia. Stryker on the call goes on this weird rant about Riddle being the elephant in the room. How do you let $1 million star go? This is our coup de grace to sign Riddle. So he gets a lot of negative buzz on this. So he digs in even further, and he says he's a heel. He's a heel announcer. He was playing his character and sticks with it, you know. And then finally, day 3 of this controversy, Stryker says that he was wrong. He was tone deaf. Maybe don't acknowledge the guy's past. Let him come in. You know, he's already a star. You know who he is. The fans know who he is. Maybe don't even talk about the elephant in the room stuff. Try to disregard it. But anyway, I don't know. Just a very bizarre announcing thing from Stryker and Riddle at number 7.
I really didn't have any problem with what Stryker said. If you think about, here's what I think. If he would have just came back on X and said, hey, that was my personal opinion. Instead, I was playing a character. It's well known, if you've been around wrestlers for a long time, if they say something that pisses off somebody, they'll come back to you and go, oh, dude, I was just working. I was just working. And that's what he was just working. Just so corny for Stryker. He should have just owned up to it if that's what he thought. Riddle also, we didn't. I'm not going to include this into the in Patreon. I'm going to give it right here. He says that Lesnar went to business for himself during the Royal Rumble. Which Royal Rumble was that?
A couple of years ago.
Yeah, and threw him out and decided he was going to win. And I thought that was horse shit, and I figure he's probably been smoking way too much weed.
Synthetic.
Well, and we've covered everything about Riddle. I'm a huge fan of Matt Riddle. You know I am. I love Matt Riddle. But the dude is just a train wreck. A total train wreck. And because he wasn't paying any child support, which was proven in court, I said he was a piece of shit. Other than that, none of the other stuff was being proven. So, all right, number 6, and then we go to a commercial break.
Sorry, number 6 is BT, investigative journalist. So our very own Brian Trammell has unearthed footage that may be the origin of Chris Jericho's delightful catchphrase.
All right, I'm gonna play this now. I'm gonna play it.
So this is our favorite Chris Jericho catchphrase.
All right, hold on.
Today.
All right, you ready?
Dun, dun, dun.
Hey, fuck Whitney. I ain't going away now. You get off my block. How about that? I'm from Atlanta and I run this. Understand that. Understand that. You'll get beat in New York City tonight. Fuck is you talking about? No, I want to talk shit to you. I want to tell you congratulations, nigga. No, fuck your hands on.
There it is. That's the origin right there.
Yep. You say what? Fuck your shit. Hit me. I'm a sleep.
All right, we got to hear it right there. Go ahead.
I could not be prouder of you, my friend. So it's a 2017 clip, TMZ story. The video aired of Jericho getting into a verbal spat with a fan in New York City. They're cursing each other out. It's after a Fozzy concert, which was a tribute show to a friend of Jericho's who had recently been killed in an auto accident. So Jericho was signing autographs after the show. He was okay with most of them, but for some reason he snapped on this guy, told him, go fuck your ass. Other guy responds, no, fuck yo ass. So the whole thing is just gold. So I'm just going to say, my friend, sir, I'm going to say, sir, this is some solid journalism from you. The late Frank DeFord and myself, we smell Pulitzers. That's all I'm going to say.
My God.
Frank DeFord and I both smell a Pulitzer for you on this.
Oh, wow. Yes. I'm excited about it. Guys, if you're watching it, we're cutting it off right here. No, well, cutting the episode off, not cutting it off. We're cutting the episode off right here, and you can listen to it on the main feed. You can listen to the episode, the audio version. You can only watch the video version, the full uncut version, where Lance says a bunch of bad stuff about other people. And then on Patreon. And Lance needs some pork and beans. He really does. We're going to take a commercial break, and when we get back, we'll do some shout-outs, and then we're going to do halftime.